during the Soviet Union, you had lots of different agreements made between the then Soviet republics as to how to maybe work together on a farming project or give some land in exchange for something else. And you ended up with technically then pieces of territory inside each other's republic, but it didn't matter because it was an open border. It was one, union. And then it collapsed, and there wasn't any foresight to that collapse, as Gorbachev has told us. That was not the plan. And so you ended up then with loads of tiny little villages. Some of them are literally 2-kilometer strips inside each other's country. So if you can see this here, we've got something like this over here, which is the Kyrgyzstan, literally a 2-kilometer long piece of land inside Kyrgyzstan, but it's a Tajik piece of land. Okay, so that's one of the small ones. And then you've got much bigger ones. So this one here, Varukh, a mountain village in Tajikistan, surrounded by Kyrgyzstan, with the whole village in there, quite a big one and quite a big piece of territory there. And there's loads of them. So we can't go through.
Obviously, another example of this would have been the recent issues that we've seen between Armenia and Azerbaijan.
Absolutely.
When you look at a lot of these countries, particularly I seem to notice ex-Soviet states.
Yeah.
Because the borderline on a Soviet state inside the Union is basically drawn in pencil because it doesn't really matter. Like you say, it's an open border. The borders there mostly more about culture than anything else, because the economy is fairly integrated anyway. But when they all become independent of each other, these borders are now drawn in pen and become problems. So you've got these impossible lines that are navigating cultural neighborhoods and cause these enclaves to happen. And when you've got this tension, it's like, well, I'm now surrounded by, in some cases, an unfriendly country's military that is bearing down on my village because we're Armenian. Right. Or Azerbaijan, or don't mean to take sides. I'll get angry Armenians in the comment section. I think I made a point.
Yeah. This comes back to that point, though, about the legacy of Gorbachev. I know we can go back to this, but you're talking about a legacy of complete chaos, economic collapse, as you saw with loads of those countries there, particularly Tajikistan and the other stands too. Economic deprivation. They went backwards for 10 years. Things got better, but 10 years of lost economic growth. And then, yes, like loads of unresolved issues, like these border regions here. And then having now, a republic, a nationalist republic, a Tajik republic, which stands in opposition to a Kyrgyz one and Uzbek one, which have shared water resources and dams and electric grids. So really a mess, a real mess left after the collapse.